chapter clicked in to College Volleyball Weekly on Viral Volley Media. Now here's your host, Rob on mic.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of the 2024 Collegiate Beach Volleyball season. You're watching or listening to College Volleyball Beach Top 20 here on Viral Volley Media. On screen, Kylie Wickley of Texas, Kelly Belardi of Stanford, and Alli Hansen of Florida State University. Ladies, great to have you on for the first time. We're missing one, though, tonight, who almost forgot about a team dinner. That's Jaden Whitmarsh. We'll get her later. So thanks for joining me, ladies.
Thank you.
So I figured I'd start with a softball episode because it is the first time that I've had 4. I know on screen you're only seeing 3, but 4, if you include Jaden, new contributors to the weekly podcast for the season. It's roughly 10 weeks of the season because it goes so fast. But obviously with you being student athletes, we emphasize student first, athletes second. And then if you guys can make it weekly, great. If not, we understand because the reason we started this beach volleyball podcast is because of COVID. I wanted to keep the athletes on the screen. I realized the collegiate beach athletes have great personalities and they have been great ambassadors for the program. And that first crew was, of course, Charlie Ekstrom of Stanford, Alana Rennie of Arizona, and Mads Fitzpatrick of Florida State. So with that, they all had aspiring careers in athletics. Obviously, Mads Fitzpatrick now doing the play-by-play and analyst for the Orlando Valkyries and had the opportunity to work with her on ESPN on a couple matches for the Big West Women's Volleyball Championships. Charlie is doing her own media, started her own podcast, which we're not competing because we're friends. But she's also competing on the AVP tour. And then Alana is working for a professional hockey team in Arizona. So just want to highlight the athletes that are active and hopefully they stick around a little bit longer. I think some of you may be graduating, but we'll figure that out. But I figured this episode, I'd share my connection with you guys and you share a little bit about yourselves. So I'm going to go to the first person I approached first. She's wearing a purple uniform when I first met her and had a great conversation with her at UCLA. And I'm like, you know what? It'd be great to have someone from Grand Canyon on the show. Well, that would be Alli Hansen. So had a wonderful conversation, got to see her play the East Meets West 2 years ago with Las Navas, and was so impressed by her play that I actually voted her as the Breakthrough Player of the Year last year, which she was. So I take pride in that vote. So Alli, tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I went to GCU for my first 3 years of eligibility, and then my coach left and she went to ASU, and then I decided to hop into the portal and I ended up in Tallahassee, Florida, and it is amazing. I have loved every second of being here, honestly.
Well, you come from Everett, Washington, Kings High School.
Yes.
Not known for a big beach area, but there is a pocket of beach volleyball talent up there because we're seeing some names come down. Are you from that same area where that talent is coming from?
Yes. Yes. I've known Bailey Showalter since she was in like maybe 7th grade. I think she goes to USC. I've known her for so long. And like Samaya,
Some
like
school in LA
Piper,
somewhere.
I know all of them. I love them. They're amazing.
And you had a great season last year with Grand Canyon. Obviously, top in the 1s and 2s. I don't remember off the top of my head, but had a great season overall, for best in the program history, if I recall.
Yes, it was awesome.
And
I
got to ask,
awesome.
though, why'd you pick Florida State?
Honestly,
Brooke Niles? It's okay.
Oh my gosh, Brooke Niles. And it's awesome now because I have transitioned into like a kind of like a different position on my team, and I'm getting Nick Lucena coaching me, which is just
I've heard of him
awesome.
somewhere. He's actually pretty good, I think.
I think he's pretty good. I think he went to the Olympics. Not 100%
Great at carrying
sure.
the kids around. A great babysitter for Brooke.
Oh my gosh, yes. But Brooke's amazing. She is a fearless leader. She's amazing. She runs a tight ship, and it's awesome.
Well, great little intro to Alli Hansen of now Florida State. And it's funny when I asked you, it's like the intention was spreading the around the United States, getting representatives. Like, dang it, she transferred to Florida State, and I've had two people already associated with Florida State on the show. So they're just carrying on the tradition. So, which is funny because I then asked you, who do you think would be a great personality to bring on that you would work with well? And you threw down Kylie Wickley, who was at the time at Arizona State. I'm like, that's perfect. So, Kylie, why don't you introduce yourself, what you do, how'd you get to where you're at, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Me and Alli were both in Arizona, like kind of rival schools. And now we're, where we're at, best buds. But yeah, I was at Arizona State. My coach decided to leave. Then they stole Kristen from GCU. And immediately when my coach left, I hopped in the portal and came back to my home state. And yeah.
Well, you actually have you prodded a question because before Texas started a program, I had met a bunch of Texas parents prior to knowledge of Texas starting the beach program. And like, if Texas started a program, our daughter would be there in a heartbeat. And they were playing at other schools, which I won't name. And sure enough, 3 months later, they announced the program. And we'll just say some of those girls ended up there. So, but what's the draw of Texas? You gotta explain to our listeners and viewers why Texas is so big. And I kind of know it from actually working there the last few years for the indoor women's teams, which Kelly's like, Texas.
Yeah, so our indoor team's pretty awesome. They won the past two national championships. And they decided to add a beach team well, I guess it was, now we're in 2024. 2022, around October, they announced the program. Last year, the indoor team competed. And then this year, they stole Stein from UCLA.
Jaden's not here to defend that one, right?
Yeah. But I think he's the winningest head coach current in beach
Division
volleyball. Is that true?
I believe so, because Dane hasn't been doing it as long.
Yeah.
So he's got the most, I'd imagine, wins.
Yeah. So he's pretty awesome. Then we have Angie Akers, who coached Alex in April to the
She's
last
pretty good
Olympics.
herself too.
Yeah, she's a baller too. And then Will Buchanan, who made Mad Sand, which one of the best beach clubs now for
I
on
did
the
not
junior side.
realize
Yeah.
Mad
So
Sand has a lot of talent represented around the nation right now.
yeah.
So
we have a pretty solid staff, I'd say.
they're okay.
Yeah, our athletic directors did a good job of picking our squad. And then athletics as a whole is pretty top tier too. I think most of our teams are ranked in the top 20, so we're hoping to get there when we're in the mix too.
Well, you release your schedule within the last few days, which will be interesting to chat about because I know it's not as many duels as, let's say, Florida State or Stanford are having, but it's a competitive schedule nonetheless. So that brings us to our third on-screen host or contributor, which I've actually known for probably the longest of on the screen from back in our Mountain Sunshine days. And that's Kelly Belardi, who is a phenomenal indoor setter. But I realized, like, wait a second, she's showing up on the Stanford Beach roster too. So she's doing it on both surfaces and has been a few Sweet 16s herself on the indoor side. And Stanford has been one of those teams that's constantly been on the rise. And I think one of the first recruiting classes is Charlie Ekstrom, the contributor, alumna contributor last year. So Kelly, share a little bit about yourself. I know I kind of thrown a lot out there already, but throw down.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm from Manhattan Beach, kind of like the mecca of beach volleyball. So obviously started playing on the beach, loved it, and then decided I liked indoor too. So I was like, maybe I can play both in college. So currently doing that, just finished indoor season. So starting up with beach now, and it's just so exciting. We have so much new talent. Like our freshmen are super solid. Our team, we have two new assistant coaches too, Joe Kremer and Billy Allen. And Billy Allen used to coach for Cal Indoor actually like this year. So I would like play against him, which was funny. So they came and I don't know, it's awesome. Love beach. Our team's great. And I'm excited. It'll be good to go to Hawaii and kind of see where we like stack up with all the good teams. Cause like, I don't know, I'm excited. It's really motivating watching everyone play and everyone's doing super well.
Sounds awesome. Now, for all of you, did all of you get your start indoors or were you straight to the beach? We'll go with you, Alli.
Indoors. For
Indoors?
sure. Mhm. It's too cold. It's too cold up there to play year round. I can't do that. It's freezing.
How about you, Kylie?
Same here. I actually I only started playing beach when I was 14.
Wow.
So yeah.
And Kelly, I imagine you've been doing both.
Yeah, I actually started on the beach though, which everyone, I mean, I don't know. I feel like where I'm from, it's kind of valid, but everyone starts indoors. So I don't know. But I started on the beach, which I don't know, probably made me love it even more because it was like where I originally wanted to play.
All good stuff. Now, I got to ask our two people that jumped into the transfer portal because there's a lot of. No, I'm not speaking negatively of you. There's a lot of movement, and we're in such a unique time in history because of COVID, which gave athletes an extra year to work on graduate programs. That there's a lot of movement this last season because of people taking advantage of getting graduate degrees and moving on to programs that were title contenders. But how is it like with the changeover going into a different university or a different team? And we'll start with you, Kylie.
I think the transfer portal is definitely crazy. I think there were a lot of coaching shifts this after this past season, which I feel like there was a huge influx of girls in the portal, but I've loved the transition. I'm happy to be where I'm at. Yeah.
Well, you're homegrown now, so
Yeah.
family's me riding right up there. It's awesome.
I actually saw Alli last weekend because she's dating my brother.
What?
And she went to go visit him, and then I went home, and yeah.
And he was there.
Sorry.
Wow, I never
Cut
would
it
have thought
out.
that connection.
Rob, that's getting cut. That's getting cut. Not a chance.
He was sleeping in your bed. Oh my gosh, that's got to be one of the top 2 moments now on the cat's out of the bag. Wow. All right. Well, Kelly, any dark secrets you want to throw out here since we're on the topic?
I got nothing. I'll let them do that.
Now, Kelly, you obviously coming off of a great indoor season. There are only so many indoor beach athletes left because programs had started shifting the beach only athletes that were traditionally going, oh, we need the indoor players. I can know Hawaii's got a handful that are coming from the indoor team playing beach, but obviously I think you're the only one at Stanford, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
You got to be pretty darn good for them to have it both ways, right?
Oh, thank you. I mean, for me, like people ask me, but it's just like I've grown up playing both. And like I think the hardest is always being in season. Like fall, I'm always like indoor season. And then right when I get back from Christmas break, I'm starting with beach. But I don't know, I love them because they're both so different, like same sport, but it's very different. And I don't know, for me, it makes me appreciate like when I'm playing each one, like even more because I don't get to do it year round. So like now in beach season, I'm just like so excited to get to play.
Yeah. Well, I only got to preview the West Coast teams here in the fall season. And Kelly, you obviously were with the indoor team and got to see Jaden play a little bit, but they're mixing it up. But what about your guys then? What were you guys doing in the fall, Alli and Kylie? And we'll start with you, Alli.
In the fall, we were mixing it up. Honestly, that's kind of what I really enjoy about Florida State is how many combinations there are of partners because we have so many girls. We have a 28 person roster, which is massive. We have so many new freshmen, and it's so fun because I get to play with like so many new people. I get to play with like old friends, like Kaylee. I've known Kaylee, Caitlin Moon. It's like so many, and then like I get to play with like Maddie and Anna and Ray. It's like it's so fun. And that's like what we did in the fall, and it was I just love volleyball has just been so fun recently. I just have enjoyed it so much.
Good, good. How about you, Kylie? What was your fall like being with the newer program of the ones represented on the podcast?
It was a lot of switching up, kind of same thing, but for us, we were all new people, all new coaches, like no one was a returner, so we kind of had to set like a culture and like everything, which isn't very common. Most programs already have been a thing for at least like a year. So it was really fun to get to do that and get to meet a bunch of new people and like do that while also getting to play with everyone.
Well, you have the unique opportunity to bring some of the indoor national champions to the sand. And I actually got to see two of them play, well, a handful of them play last year when they're in Long Beach, Maddie Skinner and Molly Phillips. So I guess Molly's now at USC.
Yeah.
Tough score for Dane at USC, but Maddie could play some ball. She knew two speeds, hard and harder on the sand. And you're being at 6'2", 6'3". And I believe she's coming back. Is she on the roster to be at the
Yes.
beach? Wow.
So, there's 12 beach only girls right now. 5 of us are actually redshirting. I'm redshirting included. That's kind of why we have the shortened season for only like the month of March, beginning of April. Because you can't play in a national championship unless you had 2 years as a program.
Oh, okay.
So, the 5 of us redshirting so we can save our eligibility for a full season. That's kind of the idea. And so 7 girls are beach only. So then the rest of the indoor team's gonna be joining us and filling in the rest of the spots, which should be really fun because there's an awesome group of people.
To be a crazy practice though on the
Yeah,
sand. There's some big
there's
girls.
gonna be like 30 people.
I mean, how about you, Alli? I mean, with the new team this year, and you've got a lot of talent. Maddie Anderson's back, and you got a bunch of transfers in. Kaylee Cruz is definitely one that's keeping an eye on there. But I mean, it's just deep. Florida State is a deep well of talent.
Yes, 100%.
Are you looking? Well, I wonder if Coach Niles has got you all figured out in the lineups here. You don't have to spill the beans.
I can't. I mean, I know nothing. I don't know anything. I'm just there.
Well, let's go into some teams to look out for this season. And last year, obviously, USC won the national championship, third in a row, unprecedented. But it was unexpected because UCLA had been the favorite all year long. But what do you guys feel is going to happen this year? Because my general sense is, after seeing the talent that's come up through juniors in the last few years and seeing how much deeper the collegiate teams have gotten in the last 2 years, it's going to be a grind. Because some teams are like beach only teams that play 24/7 on a true beach, whereas other people are at a artificial complex and they don't get to deal with the elements, and you get to see that dynamic play during the season. But who are some of the top teams that you guys are watching out for this season? And let's start with you, Kelly.
I mean, the classic USC, UCLA, they're going to be super good at the top. Also, TCU, FSU are kind of the main ones. But honestly, just like you were saying about people coming in from juniors, like I'm just so impressed with like everyone, even like watching recruits or just like going to junior tournaments. I was like, oh my gosh, like I remember when I played in juniors and like we thought we were pretty good, but like they are like at a whole new level. So I think just like everyone coming in, and then also, at least for me, like seeing our freshmen come in and be really good, it's like motivating all of us to be like, oh, we got to get on it, because it's like everyone that's now coming in is super good. So it just makes everyone better. And with that, I think comes like there's going to be so many like upsets, I think, and just people like taking down different teams. Like I honestly doubt that there's going to be, well, maybe for a little bit, but I don't know if there's going to be someone that's consistently at the number 1 spot.
Yeah. How about you, Kylie?
I agree with Kelly. I feel like last year, the Pac-12 championship where Cal was in the championship with UCLA was kind of like never been done before. And I feel like across like all men's indoor and beach, like everyone's competing with each other. It's not like one team is like the top for sure, like always. And I think it's gonna be a really fun season seeing everything. And I feel like Stanford especially has got a lot of really good freshmen, like Kelly said. You got like Florida State with all their transfers, Cal too, of course, USC, UCLA, they can't be counted out. TCU too, I think it should be a really exciting year.
Alli, how about
And
your
oh,
take?
let me add to that. Arizona State got a lot of good, really good transfers,
Yes,
and
they
a really
Yeah.
good coach.
did.
I'm really interested
Fire.
to see how that goes, and all my buddies. I'm excited for them.
I believe, let's see. So Jaden's sister is on the team, and you guys are teammates for 1 year, I believe, Kylie,
Yeah.
right? So you have connections everywhere. Alli, how about you? Your thoughts on the top teams in the nation?
I agree with both of them. I feel like it's going to be a toss up and it's going to be a grind. I totally agree. The talent that's on every team is just, it's insane. And I'm really excited to see how ASU does this year because like that's Kristen and that's my girl. I love her and Smi's on the team, one of my best friends. So I'm so excited to see like how she's developed that program in such a short amount of time since she's like only been there for a couple months now. And also Cal, Kylie, you took the words out of my mouth. Like I think Sierra and Alex's performance at pairs was they played incredible. And so I'm excited to see like how their team is this year too.
So who did Sierra? You're referring to Sierra Caffo, correct?
Mhm.
And who did she play with? Because I saw her playing with Gia Fisher.
She played with Alex Young at
Okay.
pairs in like November.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because she was pretty solid with Gia. They were in the quarters of the Manhattan Beach event. And in the Huntington event, they did really well as also. So some of the teams that were on my radar, and obviously you guys are in the circles and you see all the athletes, but FIU, I don't know if Alli can talk about that squad over there in her state. You know, there's this rivalry thing going on. Definitely Cal. They have a bunch of new faces coming in that I actually saw compete even at the Laguna Open in some AVPs this summer. And like, oh yeah, we're going to Cal. I'm like, whoa, they've upped. And then Stanford, Clara Stowell and Brooke, help me out here. Brooke, can't remember her name.
Yeah, Brooke Rockwell.
Yes,
Rockwell.
she
Yeah, she
was.
played with Zolani in the pairs tournament.
They're both long and super athletic. I'm pretty sure they can go both ways, defender or blocker, because they just seem so. I mean, their volley IQ was mind blowing. So, but FIU, Stanford, um, obviously cannot forget FAU in the mix. Stetson's always on there, and then Grand Canyon have a few transfers as well. And they were on the up and up last year, so it's hard for me to see them dip that much. So, sorry, your former alma mater, Alli, but they're doing a good job over there.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Abra's doing a good job. She'll do a good.
Yes. Love Abra.
So, with the first weekend of play coming up, I know for us it's in 2 weekends based on recording, but there's a couple big ones. And actually, Kelly is going to be at the Duke of Hanamoku, which kicks off the season on the 22nd, that Thursday. And that features UCLA, Stanford, LMU, Hawaii, and USC. That's an easy tournament.
So easy, right?
So thoughts on going straight into the fire on that one, Kelly?
I mean, I'm excited. I know everyone on our team's super excited. Also, just to see kind of where we're measuring up to those teams right now and kind of like what they're doing, maybe what we need to work on. Yeah, I like going there in the beginning of the season. First off, it's Hawaii. Like, are you kidding me? Like, we get to go to Hawaii to play volleyball. Sign me up. And then all the teams, the competitions is also like insane. We have all the top teams pretty much. And we play LMU. I think we play them first, and we've never beaten LMU. Fun fact. So it's like a thing for us. We have yeah.
So LMU's on the target. Who do you play first?
Yeah.
I didn't see the schedule.
I think we play LMU first. I think. Maybe I'm making that up, but in practice, people are like, oh, it's for when we play LMU. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Well, all the schedules are being updated.
I think we play them first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? Thoughts on that weekend, Kylie and Alli?
I mean, I'm super excited. I feel like a spectator this year. I'm super excited to watch everything go down, and I think that's a really exciting weekend. I think it'll give a nice layout for the rest of the season, like what to look forward to kind of thing.
Yep.
Mm.
Alli, anything else to add on?
No, that was well said, Kylie.
And then Friday, two tournaments that I know of. Like I said, schedules are running into the main agitator with all the information. But Third Coast College Classic in Houston, that features LSU, Washington, Houston Christian, Central Arkansas, and TCU. What intel do you guys have on any of those teams? We'll start with you, Alli. She's like, I don't have anything.
I gotta think. Well, Washington, obviously, that's where I'm from. So I do know a lot of the girls on the team because they're like hometown girls that played at the same club. So
Mhm.
Scarlett Dahl,
Yeah.
Mai Nichols. I can't think of the names right now. But then they got this fresh Zoe Henson. She
Yeah.
is so good. I played against her in the summer. I love watching her play. She's so good. And I think they got a couple transfers too. I think they were also a really heavy transfer team.
Lauren Wilcock of South Carolina, Natalie Martin from Cal.
Yes.
Who else I have? And you did mention Zoe Henson, who was on my watch list this year as the top
Yes.
freshman.
She's
Because
so good.
she was really good in the fall. And
Mhm.
like she's a freshman, she's playing like a vet.
Yeah.
And she's so her reading, her ability to read the ball is amazing. So good stuff coming from the freshmen. But the other teams, LSU, Russell Brock and his girls, he finds these indoors girls, coaches them for a couple months. They turn into world-class athletes. It's like you can count on it. You're like, who's that? But do you see these girls playing indoors or beach in previous experiences? Because I surely don't. But he ends up coaching them up so well. And they're always such a dark horse. You cannot take your eye off of LSU. But do you guys have any experience playing against any of the LSU pairs? No, I'm trying to remember who's faced off with whom.
I
Kelly.
do.
So,
I don't remember the exact pair. It was Laura, and
Laura
it
Bose.
was on the
Out of
fours.
Cal.
Yeah, Laura, yes, and her partner who won, I forget her name, but she won the like USAV trials for U23,
Mhm.
I think. I don't know. They were really good, but I don't know. I was going to talk about LSU because I even remember playing them last year, and like I don't really know anyone from LSU or like the names. Like obviously, because like where I grew up playing was probably different from where they did. Besides like Kelly McCloskey, I knew her, but then she transferred to Texas with Kylie. But I don't know. I think Russell's great, and I also think he's a super good coach. At least when he's coached me in like USA stuff, and so also watching him like turn the indoor players into like how they do on the beach, like I would never have known that they're just started off on the beach. Like it's super good. So that's definitely a team I would never count out. And then also, I forgot about Washington when I was talking about teams to watch because like even last year they were really good, and I feel like they have so much new talent. Also, it's kind of a newer program, but I think Derek's also great, and so they'll be really good too.
Yeah. Kylie or Allie, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I agree on the Washington. That was one of the teams that I'm really interested to see because they have a lot of really good freshmen. Plus, Sarah Wilcock she's Lauren's sister, and then yeah, LSU. They got a few transfers also, and
Yeah.
a girl from Israel too.
I'm looking. I had the Magdalena Rabic from Austria, maybe. Is that the foreigner you're afraid? I'm not seeing but I don't know the lineup that well. So
Yeah, that should be interesting. And then TCU too. I mean, Maria and Danielle and Tanya aren't playing this year.
they got to qualify for the
But
Olympics, or they got to train for the Olympics. That's
yeah,
not a big deal.
What?
So they're taking
Wow.
the year off to play in the
Kelly,
Olympics.
you didn't know that?
No, but I'm fired up. I remember playing Maria, and I was like, God.
Yeah,
yeah,
Danny and
but
Tanya are playing the Olympics, and then Maria for Puerto Rico, correct?
yeah, and they also got a few transfers. Also, Alex Parkhurst from Arizona, Annette from Stetson. So that should be interesting to see where they line up too.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one's mentioned Lena Camille and Haley Hamlet, the fall pairs champions of the AVCA. And I got to see a bunch of their play, and Haley is up her game like 5 levels, it seems like. And she's a wicked southpaw too. So she's hitting these lefty angles that are just wicked. So, and I'm going to guess they're going to be at the 1 or 2s for the Sandy Frogs, but they're going to be a tough one to beat.
Yeah, me and Haley, same club, 210. And Alli came and we practiced this in the I guess winter too. Yeah, she's gnarly player.
Well, the other one that's happening that weekend is the Tampa Invite. That's Georgia State, South Carolina, Arizona State, and Tampa. And Georgia State's kind of one of those teams that have pulled off some big upsets. And they still got the Ferrari twins there, and they're the ones that have been leading the way at the number ones. Like they only had like one loss going into the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
And they're like 5-7, if that, both of them. So I tried to watch them play in the fall, but didn't get over their court in time. But and Georgia State, they're a constant threat. Are you guys seeing them this year? Any of you?
I think we are for sure.
Because you're in your neck of the woods, so you're
Yeah.
gonna head over there a few times.
Mhm.
But they've got some new international faces that are gonna be worth watching. I've been kind of peeking on their social there, and they've gotten bigger too. So Jacksonville Beach Tournament, Jacksonville, Coastal Carolina, North Florida, Jacksonville, UT, Chattanooga, Palm Beach, Atlantic, and FIU. I'm really watching that one because I feel like FIU loaded up this year. Jada Bianchi was a big blocker. I saw them playing your girls last year at in Long Beach, Kelly, at the Dog Beach Invitational, I guess, for Long Beach.
The Dog Beach.
Good. It was Jada and one of her Italian teammates playing Charlie and Maya, I believe. And they're impressive, but they brought in Alli, the transfer from Long Beach State, and it brought in some other Italian girls that are really good, been playing the U19s and U21. So with a new coach, Terry Del Conte. So I think they're gonna be doing well. Are you guys familiar with any of the players or the team that they've got right now? I think they're maybe that many foreigners where you might not know any of them across their paths. But FIU is definitely
I don't know any of them, but I remember playing FIU last year, and like people were talking about how they're a young team and they were really good last year, almost like sneaky good. Like it caught me by surprise. So they'll probably be even better this year.
Yeah, without a doubt, especially with the coaching of Terry Del Conte, just always a highly respected coach. But with that, I want to jump into athletes that you guys are watching out for. You can name your own teammates. I think it's more just to get exposure to what people should be looking out for, like players and their records as they go through the season, because I know there's a lot out there, but there's be some top dogs as well. And yeah, I know that you guys have yours, and you guys read the game much better than I do. Mechanics, technique, strategy, and all that. I just see the hard hit balls because I'm a dude and I don't pay attention to detail. So, but who are some of the players you guys are watching out for? Just start popping them out there, and we'll see. Alli Hansen.
We can say our teammates. We can say our teammates, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So you know who you're
I
playing
would
with,
say Alexis
as in your pair
Durish.
or your teammate on the team. We're trying to squeeze information.
Teammate on the
Did she
team.
freeze? She froze. She
I
hung
don't
up
know.
on me.
I don't know.
Oh no, your Wi-Fi is going down, or is it mine? All right.
I would say
Who was that? One more
okay,
time.
can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. Alexis Durish is an incredible athlete and has the best ball control I've ever seen. Like it is impressive.
And she's a sophomore this year?
Yeah, she's a sophomore.
Wow. Anyone else on Florida State you can name if you want? Some former teammates as well?
Former teammates? Let me think.
Or we can go
yeah, skip me. I'll think.
I personally, I enjoyed watching the 3 spot for Stanford last year. That would be Kelly and Ashley Vincent, because they're kind of the fresh and phenom. They're undefeated for the longest time. I don't want to shake when the loss happens, but it's just impressive watching you guys play, particularly, not because of the connection, but even just watching from a standpoint, you're battling with other teams and creating so much havoc for them. But I feel like you guys have a strong, assuming that you're back together again this year, because I know that coaches like to shuffle the deck. So, but
I don't know. I kind of know, but I'm not going to speak on that until I really do know. But Ashley's awesome. Like she's the best. So I would love to play with her again. But yeah, if I'm gonna go, I feel like other people from my team, Brooke Rockwell, she's insane. I never really watched her play until I started practicing with the beach team. Like I played against her in juniors sometimes, but she's from Arkansas, like super random. But she is like super athletic, jumps really high, and like I would just consider her a beast. So I feel like for a freshman, she's gonna do some damage. And then also like Delaney Maple, Megan Kraft. I personally just love watching them on USC. Like I think they move the ball around super well. And then Megan's just also a beast. So I like watching them.
great suggestions there. Kylie, you have to throw some in there.
I'm definitely super interested to see Jaden and Devin because they had a great like AVP kind of season this past year. That was super fun to watch. Sierra Caffo is also incredible player. So I'm excited to see her too. Zoe, I'm excited to watch her play too. She's pretty awesome. And
Zoe Hansen?
Hansen, yeah.
Okay.
Washington, sorry, not to specify.
We're on first name basis now, so we're all good.
Yeah, super interested to see all them.
Obviously one of the other athletes to watch in that group of Jaden and Devin are, of course, Lexi Denneberg and Riley Powers in that group. And one of the names that was in that original crew of UCLA girls, I'm actually super excited to have back is Lindsay Sparks, but donning the Cal Poly uniform as a graduate student, because I mean, unfortunate injury ended her season 2 years ago at UCLA, and she's rehabbed back, started playing again, and now she's competing. And I know that she's going to contribute. Saw her play at the Laguna Open, and just played incredibly well. Unfortunately, lost to a former teammate, Abby Van Winkle. So, but I think that seeing Lindsay up at Cal Poly is gonna be a fun one to watch as well. Surprised it's not more SC girls, because they have quite a few girls coming back, like the Norse twins. You mentioned Bailey Showalter, and then Maddie White, Madison White. And in the fall, they just had eye-catching performances all in the Paris Championships in Huntington and Manhattan. But obviously, Kelly wasn't able to track that because she's in an indoor season. But the Stanford also had a really good showing as well. And then Kylie got to see a few of the girls. I was trying to scout as much as I could on the Texas team, because I don't know who's going to end up activating for the season. Obviously, it's probably not who I'm going to expect to see, but I still think they're going to compete really well, because Stein was excited. He's like, yeah, we had some duels. We lost 2-3, but they're against good teams. I'm going to tell you they were. So
yeah, I'm super excited to see everyone compete this season.
we actually had some big
girls with some. I guess talking to them last year, they kind of just like did hitting lines all practice. That was like what they practiced, and so I'm interested to see them with some more drill type coaching.
Just hitting lines, huh? All season long.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't even really mention one team on there, and I feel like they're gonna shock some people too. Loyola Marymount. They've got their international contingent: Valma Pretty, Isabel Reffel, Isabel Tucker, and Abby Thorup, which at the Paris Championships played really well. But even last season in the WCCs, LMU was taking down some top teams. But what do you guys know about the Lions, and who wants to take a stab?
I think John is a great coach. Those girls are awesome too. I think they've got a lot of experience on the world tour level, which definitely contributes to the college side. They're very well coached, and
Yeah. Well, it's all going to be fun times this next weekend. That's for sure. And that's not even with all the schedules that are available yet. But, um, with that, I think we run a little long. I decided we'd only try and go 30, but we're at 40 right now. And we don't even have Jaden on the show this week. So that's Kylie Wickley of Texas, Kelly Belardi of Stanford, Alli Hansen of Florida State, and hopefully we'll have Jaden Whitmarsh of UCLA for our new College Volleyball Weekly Collegiate Beach Top 20 crew coming at you as weekly as we can based on everyone's schedules. But thanks, ladies, for jumping on this week.
Thanks for listening to College Volleyball Weekly. Be sure to follow Rob Aspero at the Rob on the Mic on Instagram and at Rob on the Mic on Twitter.